Welcome to Unstoppable AF. Unstoppable and funny.
Why? What were you thinking?
I'm Karen Hall, and I am here with my co host, Barbie Ray, and we are welcoming our heavyweight champion, James Bone Crusher Smith. Barbie, tell us some more about James.
Well, first of all, welcome to Unstoppable AF, everybody. Our guest today is both unstoppable and funny. He is fantastic. He is the World Boxing Association's heavyweight champion of the world for 1986. James Bone Crusher Smith. He is also the first person to take Mike Tyson 12 rounds, and that was in 1987. He is a legend. He's a philanthropist. He is funny as hell, and he is here to join us today and talk about what he's been doing and some of the great funny things in his life. Welcome, James.
Hello, how you all doing?
We're good. So, James, I saw you on an interview recently, and you were talking about some really funny stuff. You were talking about when you were, well, first of all, tell us about what happened when you won the heavyweight championship, because I was stunned to hear what Don King had. So tell us a little bit about your Christmas present, please.
How much time do I have? Well, when I was about 6 years old, ladies, I was a little crybaby. Looking at me now, it's hard to believe I was ever little or a crybaby. Ended up fighting 10 world champions. I fought three of them twice. Larry Holmes twice, Tim Witherspoon twice, and Mike Weaver twice. And end up fighting a total of 10 world champions. But the baddest I've ever been was December 1986. I was suing the great promoter Don King because he had promised me a world title fight and he didn't give it. And so I got me another promoter and he started suing me for breach of contract. So the promoter is also a lawyer, and we started suing Don, and Don started suing us, and so he calls me up December 1986, Bone Crusher. This is Donald King. I pretended I didn't hear him. I said, who? He said, this is Don King. I said, hey, Don, how you doing, brother? He said, Bone, I want to settle this lawsuit with you. I'm going to give you the world title fight, and I'm going to give you some money. I said, well, Don, that's awesome. I said, Don, who is the fight with? When is it? And where is it going to be? He said, well, Bone, I got some bad news. I said, what's that, Don? He said, the fight is going to be against the guy that beat you last year, Tim Witherspoon. I said, uh-oh. And my mind went back decades, and I remember those whoopings I'd gotten from my teacher, my mama, my daddy, and the year before in Las Vegas, Witherspoon. I said, Don, when is this fight? And where is it going to be? He said, Bone, the fight's going to be on HBO. You got a chance to show the world, Bone Crusher, who you are on HBO. I said, Don, when is this fight? And where is it going to be? He said, Bone, the fight's going to be at Madison Square Garden, New York. And it's going to be next week. I said, next week. I said, Don King. A minute to think about it. He said, yeah. I said, well, Don, thinking about taking this fight because I was old when I started boxing. I was 28, and a lot of guys retired at 28, but I'm starting out, and I got knocked out in my first fight. And but I have a dream, Don. I said, I'm not Martin Luther King, but I have a dream. After I'm not Witherspoon out, I'm going to write a book called Mad, Make a Decision, because I'm mad with you and Witherspoon. I can see way down the road to a place like we have it today. I'm on a podcast. I think it's a podcast with two lovely ladies, and I'm sharing this story to the world about what I did, and they think it's funny. They got a funny show, and I'm making them laugh. So I took that fight on the 7-day notice because 7 is God's perfect number. He created the world in 6 days, but on the 7th day he rested. If I hit Witherspoon right, I'll put him to sleep and I'll tell this story the rest of my life. And that's basically what I've been doing. I do card shows, I do events. I got a big event coming up next month in Myrtle Beach, and I just share this story. I knocked Witherspoon out in the first round to become heavyweight champion of the world. On a 7-day notice. And because I had gone to college at Shaw University in Raleigh, North Carolina, I became the first college grad to become heavyweight champion of the world. I became the first heavyweight to win the title at Madison Square Garden. And then the next year, I became the first guy to take Mike Tyson 12 rounds when he was a fighter and not a biter.
That's great. When he was a fighter, not a biter. I was going to
Yeah,
ask you how that turned out for you.
yeah.
And I want to thank you, James, because when you are going to come on this, you have to travel right now. And so we didn't know that you were going to be able to come on today. And you made a special effort to stop and play with us today for a little bit during your travels. So I want to say thank you and let all our viewers know that you really made a special effort to be here today, because we did not think you were going to be able to make it. You did not think you were going to be able to make it. And we really appreciate
I
you
did.
doing this.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Now you told some funny stories about when you were a kid and how you developed your mindset. Do you mind sharing a little about that?
Well, when I was about 6, I convinced myself I was not going to school, but nobody told my mom and daddy, so they had me dropped off my first grade teacher's class, crying, kicking and screaming, telling my teacher, I don't like you, I don't want to be here, and I'm going home to my mom and daddy. So back in the day, teachers could whoop kids, so my teacher started whooping me with a fan belt. You guys know what a fan belt is. It makes a car run, and it made me run too. I got mad with my teacher. She sent a note by me to my mama, and the rule was if I got a whooping at school, I was going to get at least one more when I got home. Odell, which is my real middle name, go get me a switch. That's what mama said. And I was smart even back then. I got the smallest switch I could find. Mama broke that switch. She looked at me and said, I said, go get me a switch. So I had to go back in the woods and get a bigger switch. Now turn around, Odell. If you hit me with that switch, she's pronouncing words. Didn't I tell you if you got a whooping at school, I was going to whoop you too? I got mad with my mama. My daddy came home. Daddy whooped me with his belt, and I got mad with daddy. So at age 6, I made 2 decisions. One, I was going to school. And if I ever got grown, I was going to whoop some people. I whooped a lot of people in my time. And you heard me talk about Don King, so I already told that part. So, yeah, that's kind of a funny story.
Well, way to keep your sense of humor.
Yeah. Yeah. But what I'm doing now, and I talked to Barbie Ray about it, I'm in the travel business, and I show people how they can get paid, make money, save money with the travel business, brightlife.com/bone crusher. You can go to my website and you can join my team for a couple $100. You can have your own home-based business with Bright Life. Save money traveling, make money by sharing it with others. I'd love to have you lovely ladies on my team.
And we will put that. We'll make sure that goes in the comments for anyone that wants to click on and take a look at the opportunity. It's called Bright Life, and we'll
brightlife.com. Join brightlife.com. Join.brightlife.com/bone crusher. That's my website. And you'll hear and you click on the little lady that giving a presentation. You can find out more about what we do. Join.brightlife.com, and it's spelled a little different. Bright Life is spelled different. It's BRYTELYFE.com/bone crusher.
Perfect. And I have that. I will put that in the comments after our show is finished.
Very good.
I think I don't know. Yeah, I was just saying I could put it in now, but me and technology, let's not do that. Next thing you know, I'll be somewhere else. I'll be off the show. I'll be able to find you 15, 20 minutes. You guys will be gone.
Well, tell us more about growing up. I bet you had some other funny stories with your siblings and things.
Well, yeah, I have 2 brothers and 3 sisters, and I'm kind of like, when 6 is, I was the third from the top, from the oldest. So we learned how to work hard early in life, and we just made things happen. Pretty much all of our siblings are pretty successful. They're retiring now. So we've had some fun. We've done some things together, and we just started a reunion for our parents in honor of our parents. and because it was good to us. And the Bible said, "Honor your mother and your father, and your days should be long." So we try to honor our parents, and we encourage other people to honor their parents as well.
So did everybody get weapons? Did they all have to decide?
Well, they got at least one.
They got at least one. Did you have any sibling rivalry or anything any funny stories about that?
No. Well, it was my brother and sister that dropped me off my first grade teacher's class. Those were the two culprits that dropped me off of my. They're older than me, so they dropped me off my first grade teacher's class. They're the culprits.
Oh.
Their fault.
Their fault.
Yeah.
What is during your boxing time, there had to be some funny moments where something happened that led up to some comedy. What would be one of the funnier things you can think of that happened during your career?
Well, I think I split my pants in the back of my pants.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I was kind of hanging out in the back.
Oh dear. How about traveling? Have you had any funny experiences traveling? Any stories that happened to you?
Yeah, I fought in Australia, and we were in the outback one night, and my friend that helped put the fight together, he was when we got ready to leave, he was trying to get this parrot to talk, and he has a funny laugh when he talks, and it kind of ha 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 ha. So he was trying to get the parrot to talk, and he was saying, this parrot, talking parrot, and he could talk, and so he called the parrot everything, and then when we got ready to leave, walking out next to the parrot started laughing like him. That's all the parrot said to us. He started laughing like the guy.
So funny when you hear the parrots just mimic exactly what you say or laugh.
Yeah.
Or when they start singing. Yeah. My favorite is I don't know if you've seen the cockatoo that sings "Drowning Pool, Let the Bodies Hit the Floor." That is one of the funniest YouTube videos I've ever seen.
Yeah. I have another story. How much time do we have?
Go ahead.
You got a couple more minutes. Let
us go. Yeah, tell us.
I have another story. I used to go to this bookstore all the time, and this guy, I'm trying to remember how it went. And I used to go past this guy. And the guy used to go past me. He used to go past. Let's see. I got to get my story. I can't remember. I had all these fights, and I got hit in my head, and I can't remember all these things. But it's a funny story, and I can't remember it. Maybe it'll come back to me.
That happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
I call it blind moments.
Yeah, it's right there on the tip of my tongue. I'm like, I had this really great thing, especially when I'm telling a joke. It's the worst. Part 3, I can't remember the punchline.
No, that's worse. You set it up. You're right there, ready to deliver the punchline, and then flatline. And then
it's kind of like
I think I have it. I think I have it. It's coming back to me. This was a guy that came into this bookstore, and this guy was ugly, and he would walk past this guy, the owner of the books. He would walk past. I'm trying to remember. He would get up to the guy, and he would look at the guy, and the guy would look at him, and the guy would say, "You are ugly." And then the next week, he would come in, and we'll pass this guy, and the guy, he looked at the guy, and the guy looked at him, and he would say, "You are ugly." And so he looked at the guy, and the guy says, "If you call me ugly again, I'm gonna tell the owner of the store maybe this was a parrot too. Maybe this was a parrot too. Parrot too. And so he got the next week. Came up to the parrot, and the parrot looked at him. He looked at the parrot, and the parrot didn't say anything. So he walks off, and a little bit, and he looks back, and the parrot says, "You know." So he knew he was ugly. He didn't have to say he was ugly. You know,
You,
but
you
not
know,
being said. You know, Bobby Ray, that's not that funny.
Barbie thinks everything is funny. Barbie's an easy laugh.
oh,
All
so
right.
tell us a little bit. I know we're gonna have to wrap up soon, but tell us real quick a little bit more about. I know you served in the military,
Yeah.
and so you were actually a boxing legend, but you actually started later in life than most people, and most people don't know that. So you were actually older than pretty much everyone you were fighting.
Yes. Sugar Ray Leonard and George Foreman, who recently passed, they started out their career at 20. They retired at 28. And here I am starting out. So I did pretty good.
You did.
Yes, indeed. Especially with 7 days notice. I mean, that's like a record. I mean, wow.
That was
Yeah.
the most phenomenal story I ever heard. But you talk about unstoppable, somebody that steps up to the plate and goes into that situation 7 days knowing this is someone that had beaten him.
Yeah.
And you took the heavyweight title of the world. I love that. Love that.
Yeah.
That is definitely
All
an
right.
mindset. Way to go.
Before
All
we
right.
let you go, tell me a little about you also do a children. You have a Barbie tries to speak, take two. You are a philanthropist who started an incredible charity to help kids stay away from drugs. Talk a little bit about your charity.
Well, it's called Champion for Kids, and it's set up as a fundraiser. So I'm going to give my phone number if that's okay. People that want to make a donation or be part of Bright Life, when we raise Bright Life for kids and help mentor the kids, and I just share my story and encourage them to make good decisions. I wrote a book called Mad. I'm an author as well. Mad, make a decision. So I encourage people to make good decisions.
That's
Start
awesome.
a home-based business. Yeah.
I love that about you, James. That is one of my favorite things about you, is that you just have this huge heart and you just want to see people make the right choices. And really, the work you do is fantastic. And I appreciate you taking the time to stop your travels today to join us. And we really love that.
And I'm going to tell you where I am parked in front of Pepsi Bottling Ventures. I just walked in there and asked them to be a sponsor, provide some soft drinks for my event coming up next month. And I think they're going to do it. And I said, I'm feeling good. I'm going to call Barbara Ray and get on this call.
We appreciate it so much. We know when you're planning an event, how busy that time is and getting the sponsors and getting everything. So you being on the road and getting that all secure and still stopping by with us today has been really a pleasure. And we thank you for that.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, James.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. So it is time to wrap our show today. In the great words of Frank King, if you liked this, please tell your friends, please like, please subscribe. And if you don't like this show today, we really hope you have no friends. Thank you very much for joining Unstoppable today. We have another incredible guest next week. So until then, have a great time and keep laughing.
Bye-bye.
Bye.